So I rolled over to the Shade Tree Service Center this week and rolled my motorcycle up onto the world's largest motorcycle lift to change out my chain and sprockets and my rear brakes. But that is not what I want to talk about today. The two big topics I want to cover is why and how. Why you should work on your own motorcycle, and how do you gain skills and confidence. All coming up today on So I've been wrenching on machines since I could operate them, and I was poor growing up, and I could not afford to pay other people to work and repair my machines. I also watched my dad work on cars, so I knew it was possible, but some people never get to see that, and they may not know that they can do it too. Other folks have plenty of money, and there's a lot of those people out there, so good for them. If you can pay somebody else to work on your machines, that's great. Congratulations. Some of us, however, don't have much money, but we have plenty of fear since we have never done much with the wrench. There's a lot of people that fall into that category, and maybe a mixture of people with money and want to do it, but they still have fear. But the truth is, any dummy can turn a wrench. I'm living, breathing proof of that. And on top of that, most likely you're going to pay a real dummy a lot of money to turn a wrench for you.
Must have got manure for your brains.
What's the bill?
The bill.
Come on. How much?
How much you got?
No, I'm asking how much the repairs are.
I'm asking you how much you got.
Look, I don't have time to play around, okay? So how much is it?
All of it, boy.
It's insanely expensive to have a mechanic work on your bike or your car or any machine, really. And one of the best things about working on your own machine is you can do it on your own schedule at your own leisure. You no longer have to wait weeks and months to get your machine repaired, waiting in line at the shop. The other big reason I see why you should repair your own bike is the pride. The pride you will experience from finishing a job and knowing for a fact that it's a job well done. You also lessen your odds of disaster and being stuck. If you know how to repair your machine, odds are you can repair it if anything goes wrong on the side of the road. Maybe not. Sometimes, you need a fuel pump goes out and, you don't have a fuel pump. So some things you can't do on the side of the road, but there's a lot of things that you can get rolling and get back home at least, limp home if you need to, if you have some basic experience. And to me, one of the biggest advantages to working on your own machine is chicks really dig grease under your fingernails. Man, they go crazy when they see a greasy man. So you may be asking yourself, Don, how do I gain the skills and the confidence that I need to be able to work on a bike? Well, the way I see it, there's three ways. You can spend thousands of dollars on a trade school, go to one of the motorcycle mechanic schools, or you can learn like a lot of us nowadays. You can go to YouTube University, which is free. Tons of information out there, and it's all free. Unfortunately, there's lots of bad info out there too. In fact, I'm going to create a tutorial on chain and sprockets and brakes from this day, if anybody's interested, and I'll show you exactly what kind of bad information you can get on the internet and YouTube. But YouTube University is cheap, and you'd be surprised if you put in the right search terms. You'd be surprised how much good information is out there. But my favorite way of gaining your skills and confidence is a way I've discovered a few years ago, is find a buddy or a network that is interested in working on their machines. For several reasons, this is a good idea. Number one, they probably have some tools that you don't and you desperately need. They've got access to specialty tools, and they've got access to knowledge that you don't have. Everybody has their own unique knowledge and experience, and finding somebody with the knowledge and experience and tools is amazing. And one of the other great advantages to have a buddy helping you work on your bike is they have a phone and clean hands. And we did this during this session here. I had a stripped out swing arm adjusting threads. The threads that I used to adjust the chain slack, the threads were screwed up, and I wanted to see if that was a common problem and how to solve it, because it's basically the swing arm, the threads in the swing arm. So it's a big, very expensive nut that I was screwing the adjusting bolt into, and I didn't want to screw it up. So we started looking pretty quickly, and it's always good to have a phone handy and somebody with clean hands. Otherwise, you'll be doing what we both were doing all day long, which was washing our hands every 15, 20 minutes. One of the big items that people underestimate is you have another set of eyes keeping an eye on you, what you do, where you lay your stuff, how you took things apart, and it's very helpful. I always talk about the ability to have somebody watching me. I call it somebody holding my hand. Somebody making sure I don't screw up, and Luke is great at that. He actually caught me screwing up the chain a couple times. So yeah, it's great to have another set of eyes, another set of hands was fantastic. Putting the wheel back on is really helpful to have a couple of people putting wheels back on and aligning everything. But one of the most important things is it's fun to hang out with the boys and do manly things. And that goes along with the other wonderful thing is you get your man card. If you can work on your own bike, you can get your man card punched and put that on the list of things that you can do. And it's very fulfilling to possess a man card and be able to flash it every once in a while. Chicks dig it, dudes dig it. I mean, think about it. Do you want to hang out with somebody that's very manly, or do you want to hang out with the soy boy at one of the protests? I don't know. To me, it's much more fun to have a man card and hang out with the bros. And now you might be asking, well, Don, how do I get started? How can I start getting into doing motorcycle repair, motorcycle maintenance? And I would say the easiest place to start is an oil change. It's something you need to do every 4,000, 5,000 miles or less, depending on how anal you are. It's relatively easy to change your oil on a motorcycle. You just need a handful of tools, and you should probably have those tools on your bike anyway. So number one, start and figure out what kind of tools you're going to need to change your oil, and make sure that those are on your bike, because those are pretty critical to have on or near your bike. You should be carrying a minimal amount of tools on your bike to be able to fix your motorcycle out on the road. Even if you're going on a short trip, it's really nice to be able to pull out a tool that you need and get back on the road. Another quick method to get started is changing out your air filter. This may be a little bit more involved. You may need a few more tools to get to your air filter. Sometimes you may have to pull off 10, 15 bolts to get to your air filter, but it's very fulfilling. It lets your bike breathe better. You get better gas mileage, better performance, and it should be relatively easy to do. And if it's not, you probably bought the wrong motorcycle. And if you have a chain drive, chain maintenance is a must. You cannot depend on other people to maintain your chain. That's something that's just kind of a no-brainer. If you have a chain drive, you really need to know how to maintain your chain, how to oil your chain, adjust your chain. So I would say that's a bare minimum for people with chain drive bikes. Bare minimum, you need to know how to do your own maintenance, period. And you need those tools on your bike, period. Another quick way to get started is pull your wheels for the tire store. It's probably it's approaching maybe one of the most difficult things. It's always good to have a buddy to help you work those wheels back on. It's not really hard to take the wheels off, but it can be difficult to put the wheels back on. Squaring up the axle and the spacers and all that stuff is kind of a pain in the butt. But if you are able to do this, you're going to save yourself $50 to $100 per wheel if you do it yourself. And like I said, it's kind of a pain in the butt, but you can also learn at the same time. You can learn how to plug a tire or patch a tube. which is another very helpful item to be able to repair your motorcycle on the road. If you can't plug a tire or patch your tube, you're going to be stuck waiting on a ride. You're going to be stuck waiting on a tow truck. It's terrible to load up your machine into somebody else's vehicle, to take it to a shop and wait. Trust me, I've been there. I've done it. And recently, I did it on this last trip. And I would say finally graduating to brake jobs. I'm not looking to get anybody into overhauling your engine, tweaking transmissions, suspension. But yeah, that is maybe the end path to a lot of people. Get so into maintaining their bikes that they go that deep. But I would say probably for most people it's going to be a brake job. A lot of people go through brakes. Man, I go through a set of brakes probably once or twice a year. So brakes are pretty important to me. But yeah, that's maybe one of the most difficult and one of the most critical things too. You can't really screw brakes up. They either are working or they don't. So it's good to know what you're doing. By the time you graduate to brakes, I would say you're probably a competent mechanic if you could do it right. Just follow the directions. Find a manual. Go to YouTube University, or better yet, find you a buddy that likes to work on his own bike, and you guys get together and share the fun and joy of hanging out with a bro, and do your brakes, do your wheels, do your air filter, oil change, chain maintenance, all that stuff. Find a buddy to work on your bike with you, or start a small group. That's probably the most fun that you can have, is having 3, 4, 5 guys in a garage working on bikes. Working on several bikes at once. Everybody have a maintenance day. Everybody comes in and brings their bikes in for maintenance day. Do your chain, do your oil, do your air filter, change some tires, adjust some valves. It does not have to suck, and it can be fun if you find the right people to hang out with. Or it can be fun even if you don't like people. You can learn to enjoy working on your own bike, doing your own motorcycle maintenance. Let me ask you this question. Do you work on your own bike? If not, what's holding you back? And did any of this video make sense to you? Any of this make sense? Leave me a comment. And if you want me to show you the how-to of how Luke and I not only changed out chain, sprockets, and brakes, but also how we solved a dramatic problem that could have cost lots of time and money had we not found the issue. So leave a comment if you want to see that video, and I will make that video, and it'll be awesome. Trust me. And I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. The world's most expensive motorcycle lift. Is it not? It's the world's most expensive tire changer, and
about 15 grand, yeah. I guess you could say that.